Y'all, so come on, ladies. I let my dogs out. I just ran up a flight of stairs, so forgive me if I'm out of breath, but I'm on my way back from this place, right? I came back from this place and I pulled into my driveway. And I look around, I see this huge stick in my driveway, right? I mean, not my driveway, but in my on my grass. And I'm like, who the heck threw this huge stick over here like that, right? And I know it's not from my tree because my tree in front of my house, both of them, is made out of a certain type of wood, right? And the wood is different from the wood on the trees. And so it was deliberately done, but I didn't think nothing of it. I just kicked it out of my way and kept moving, prayed, and kept rolling, right? And I got to walking up my stairs. I said, dang, I said, people be doing all kind of stuff. Lord, what the heck is going on? Like somebody took the time out their day to come over here to put that over there, right? Because it's so big that it had to be carried. And so as I'm walking up my stairs, I hear, y'all, I'm literally just bust out singing this song and I don't know where it came from, but I have an idea. I'm walking up my stairs and I say, you know how you start singing or you start tuning to your brain, like, you know, you be tuning and humming in your brain. But this, I didn't hum in my brain. I started to sing it out loud coming up my stairs, and I caught on to what I was saying. You know how you could do it subconsciously and you don't even know you're doing it, right? And as I'm walking up the stairs, I hear, if you say what's the name of that song? If you say that you, if you say, have no fear. Y'all, I don't even know the dang on song like that. But it's crazy because I just said the whole song coming up the stairs, y'all, and I don't even know the song lyrics. Y'all see I can't even recreate it. If you say, if you are who you say you are, a superstar, have no fear. I think that's the name of that. That's how that song go. But I want to look it up now. Because, y'all, I just said the whole thing coming up the freaking stairs. I don't even know this song. I don't know the lyrics to that song. I heard it, like, you know, out and about or maybe on the internet just scrolling or something like that. But I've never really, like, listened to that song. And I said the whole freaking thing coming up the stairs. And that just showed me that there's so many people around you guys that's doing stuff to you and doing all these nasty tricks for the trade and playing and spell work and doing all this stuff, right? Because some of y'all are expressing, y'all, I can't play the whole thing because they'll flag me. I just had a Lupe Francisco. If you are what you say you are, a superstar, have no fear. That's what I heard. But what's crazy, y'all, is that I literally came up the freaking stairs singing this song. I do not know this song. I just had to look it up. I heard it before. I think a lot of people heard it before. But it's like a subconscious thing. It plants back there and you keep going. But I don't sing this song. This is not something that I tune and I groove to, right? This ain't something I go pull up. I've never put it up. I just put it up for the first time ever. And I literally, when I'm walking up the stairs and I seen that stick and I was like, what the heck is that? And I said, God, what do these people be doing, right? And as I'm walking up the stairs, I tuned this song and I said it out loud and I said the whole freaking thing the way it said. I don't know how I knew the song, right? And so, what I got from that as I'm walking up the stairs, I'm like, oh crap, right? Y'all, it's so many people. This is a message to God's people. This is a message to God's chosen ones, his anointed ones. It is people out here that is playing in spell work, that is tuning frequencies around you, doing all this nasty things, right? It's not just the people around you. It is major people in this game here, right? That is playing in some filthy things, that is going above and beyond to take you down and under, right? Studying you. And I noticed that when I was inside of like certain workplaces and stuff like that, in spaces and places, that they was doing a lot of stuff. They literally, people in there literally looked like demons climbing off the wall. And I would sit there and I'm like, how was it that the higher ups, the people that's over this place is not seeing it? And it's so many people involved. It's like one tap the hand, go, like, you know, tag your hit, like it was like that in these places. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, what is these people doing? Why are they around me? Why are they allowed around? What's going on, right? It was so bad, y'all. And I'm like, what the hell? And so it's crazy because this morning I got up and I seen this thing on my phone, and it was this guy talking about the food and stuff and how he was homeless and how he ain't been able to find a job and all these things, right? It's a lot of people that is awakening and stepping to their star, and these people don't like it. And so don't be shocked if you can't find a home. Don't be shocked if you can't find a job. Don't be shocked if you can't do what it is that God calling you to do, because it's either choose the ways of the world. See, this is what God was talking about in the book of Revelation when he said that you were going to have to choose your death, basically. Either you were going to walk in the light. See, we are already in that time. You guys are not seeing that. I literally walked out the house for one reason and one reason only, to go grab my coffee. And so when I came back from grabbing my coffee, God blessed me. Right? And so, it's little stuff from heaven that God give us, and it's tools and stuff like that, and y'all gonna need them. And so anyways, y'all, we are literally living in the book of Revelation. We are in it. We are in it. I need y'all to understand me. It says that in the Bible, y'all, I look so ratchet, but it's crazy because like when God got a message, I can't worry about my appearance and stuff like that. So people might go, she always got a scarf on her head and da 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 da. Yeah, because I take my hair down, I take my wig off, I do this, I do that, right? And a lot of times I'll be so caught off guard with these messages, and I got to get them out, because if you say, I'm gonna go do my hair, fix my makeup before I get this message out, when God got a message, he got a message, right? And so y'all, we are literally living in the times of revelation, right? They act like it's going to be this grand thing going on. It's grand thing is going on, but it's silently. You understand? It's silent war, but it's coming up, right? And a lot of times it has to start in the spiritual before it forms here. And so it's trickling down. And God said that in the last days, that basically you have to choose a side. And that's what they talk about, the mark of the beast and the 666. Y'all, we are already here. A lot of God people have already been marked. See, years and years ago, they said that the people had a curse over them, right? And that curse, y'all, hopefully, Lord, don't let this message be long. And the curse, y'all, because I'm tripping out. And the curse, y'all, God has been like on a rampage, right? The curse is lifted, and a lot of people, the curse lifted like maybe within the last couple years. I want to say within the last 5-6 years or so, the curse have lifted over the people, right? And I know y'all know what curse I'm talking about. For the ones that's tapped in, y'all know what curse I'm talking about how the people been sold off and how we was going to be in this territory and that territory, and we weren't going to be able to fight back, right? And because of the things that we have done over time, right? The kingdom of heaven is open. The gates is open, right? God is hearing our cries. But the thing about it is, and the thing about that, one thing that I noticed in the Bible is that God always sends somebody in there to save the people, right? It's like God correct the people, and then he get them all straightened out and figured out right after the battle, and then he get them to the promised land. And then once they get to that promised land, or in these places, these kingdoms, right? Because it started in kingdoms back then. And so anyways, God will lead the people out. And it's like, one thing that I noticed is like in these stories, God is always raising one of them people up, right? And it'd be like a farm boy from the such and such, a shepherd boy from the shepherd, this, that, and the other, right? And what they do is they're sending out confusion. It's always man. And it's to confuse you. They don't tell you about how the woman did this and how the woman did that, but that's neither here nor there. But they want to send out confusion like that because they knew that it was going to come a time in a day where God was going to raise up somebody. It's always silently. And they follow their star. They follow their bloodline. They follow their DNA. You understand me? And so God is always raising somebody up in the background to come and save his people, to come and free his people. They knew that this day was coming because it's repeated over and over and over throughout history. I don't even read the Bible like that, y'all. But God will land me on things and bring up certain stories for me to figure out what it is. And one thing that I figured out and what it is the pattern. And the pattern of what I've seen is that the people are captured. The people are crying out to God. The people are screaming and hollering. And then God is sit there, right? Because of our own doing, and what it is that we doing, and worshiping Baal and all these different idols and planning this and doing things that we got no business doing, that is breaking the laws and the commandments that God wrote for us. And so we put ourselves in captivity. We put ourselves in these positions, and then we're mad at the suppressor. We're mad, and everybody's raising up talking about them, they, them, thou. Them, they, thou. Don't even matter. What matters is his people. The Israelites, the this, the that, whatever you want to call yourself. These are the people that God is sending and so want to free them. I ain't saying it's just me. You got a job, I got a job, and they all got a job. You understand me? Everybody got a job. Follow the people. Follow the yellow brick road. Clap your heels 3 times. It's time to go home. Right? And so, they had to twist and dip and flip this to confuse this, that, and the other. But when you're connected to source, when you're connected to God, and see, I went outside and all these things just came all of a sudden, right? And when I say that, the people, right, have been captured. Y'all, give me a second. I got to calm down because I'm freaking out, right? when I say about the curse, right? A lot of us were sleeping, slumber, right? And it comes a day where the people had to wake up. Why you think homeboy went inside of that place and stole all of those archives and all these different things? Because he knew that this day was coming. He said, wait a minute, what's going on in the world? Wait a minute, something changed. Wait a minute, that thing on our thing shifted a little bit. Oh my God, the people are waking up. Oh my God, the curse is breaking. It was foretold. The day was so crazy because before I woke up, it was cloudy. I looked up and the sun came out. And then, y'all, give me a second here. Y'all, and then I went outside and the sun was shining on this cloudy day. Y'all, this is out of control. I don't know where to start. Oh, God, Lord, hold on. Y'all, I woke up. And when I woke up, it was cloudy. I opened up the doors to let my dogs outside and the sun came out. And then when I shut the door back, the sun stayed out for a second, but then it got back cloudy. Then I walked outside and I began to sing to God and sing about his praises and his mercy, right? And I said something slick and the sun came out. And then when I said something slick, the clouds went back in. And so I said, okay, God, I know I ain't supposed to be saying that. I'm sorry. And when I went down the street, came back down the street, and I started to show compassion and mercy for the people around, even the people driving crazy. I said, okay, God, I see, right? And then the sun came back out. And then I got home, right? And I'm looking around, the sun is all out, and I'm still singing praises. And then I get to my drive in the driveway, right? And when I drive in the driveway, I get out of the car and I was going to go this way to go in the house, but I said, no, I'm going to go this way. And I seen a stick sitting in the yard and I said, what is these people doing? Right? And then I kicked the stick. I prayed about it, went on up the stairs, and I heard, if you are who you say you are, a superstar, have no fear, right? It's a lot going on right now, God, and I don't even know which way to take this. So I said, who is out there talking that mess, right? And so what it is that some of you guys are God's real live people. Some of you guys are sent here to wake the people up. Some of you guys is that shepherd boy and girl that God was raising up to help free the people, to help do these certain things, right? And so open up their minds, broaden their perspectives, right? And so it's vital right now because you got to pick a side, right? I remember when I was a little girl, these people are so mad, y'all. These people are so mad because they said, if you are who you say you are, a superstar, have no fear. What I'm doing to you shouldn't work on you then. I'm going to do all this stuff, use you as a test subject, mess with your finances, mess with your home, do all these things, but you shouldn't have no fear because you are who you said you are. If you connected to God, and if you doing this, and if you that one, then shouldn't none of this stuff hurt you or bother you. Nigga, I'm still human, so bag the fuck up. Let me tell you that one right there. So you got all these people coming out of the woodworks trying to test you, trying to test who you are, trying to mess with some of y'all because y'all are God's stars. You are the shepherd boy, the shepherd girl who God was raising up in the background to help the people, and these mother lovers is mad. Y'all, I went outside and had a great awakening. You know, when they said that the curse was lifted, y'all, some of y'all is waking up with information that you never studied, and they mad. Y'all got to keep rolling on a river, right? Y'all, I got to keep rolling, y'all. I'm freaking out. Some of y'all are waking up with downloads and information, and y'all never went to school for this stuff. And you got these people mad because they have studied high and low. They have studied this and studied that. They have had sleepless nights trying to break and crack the code. And some of you guys are waking up with the codes, and they're mad about it. And they coming and beaming those energetic things on you, and they doing all this and using energetic weapons, and they doing all this stuff. So when you getting up and you got this headache, you got to get up and you got this fogginess and this haziness. You're like, damn, I got sugar? Do I got diabetes? Do I got high blood pressure? No, you don't, ma'am and or sir. You went to the hospital. You went to the doctor. You keep saying, what's going on? They're using all of this stuff so you can get the message and the word out. They're cheating in this game. But see, can you expect anything less from the devil? They're putting people in places and spaces to confuse you on who is what and what is who, so you don't listen and get the view and what you need to get. Because there's something in this key. It's something in this key that is going to unlock something within you, and they don't want you to get the message. And so they're trying to block, lock, and pop some of our messages from getting to you guys. They're trying to make some of us seem irrelevant. You only got 2 views today. You only got 6 views today. So you can look away, because if she got more views than you and you got more views than her, then she must be really talking about something. Then he must be really talking about something when they're using the AI to confuse the people. But today I am decreeing and declaring that this message will get to the one that it needs to go to in the name of Jesus, in the name of Yahweh. God, I am expeditiously shipping out this word to who it needs to get to unlock their door in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Because there's something in this message that it needs to get to the person and it needs to get to like right now so it can unlock them. Because you need to go outside, plant your feet so you can get that upgrade. Why do you think, y'all, it was last night at like 3 o'clock in the morning, dude, it was so many planes flying around me at 3 o'clock a.m. What is all these planes doing outside? They're trying to figure out what is around you, what is lighting up around you, what is going on. But the angels are being dispatched right now on your behalf. They don't understand what it is that they see. You got help coming. There's help coming. They don't want you to know that you got an army that's invisible around you. They don't want you to know who you are. They want you to go pick up that shooter in that hooter. They want you to go pick up that drink, because if they can get away with it just for another day, I need you to put that baba down. The headache that you're feeling is not in your mind. They are doing this to you. I need you to get on up. Y'all, it's a lot of stuff going on. Another video that I seen was a professor who was living on the streets, and the guy was sitting down interviewing him, and he said, what is it that you want the people to know? What is it that, why are you on the streets? And he was talking about the food and how we have all these mental health conditions. And he was saying that a lot of the mental health is coming from people's childhood and all these things, right? And people don't want to talk about what it is that they've been through, and they're holding these things in. It's time for you to let it out in Jesus' name. Give it to God. Get on your back and butt and talk to God. Get on your knees and talk to God. I need somebody to put it down. Talk to God. One thing about God is that God is waiting on you. You're not waiting on him. God will put things and keys in front of you for you to begin to unlock certain things. For you to begin to be in defeat, right? Then he said, what else is it that you want people to know? He was talking about the food. He said a lot of the mental health issues is coming from the food. How people are eating this food and is consumed with all these things. And that the worms, what is them calling them? Them specimens is going inside of your body and is going into your brain. And that buzzing feeling, you feeling the pain. You have to detox the body. Me too. I'm still working on it because the coffee is good. You understand me? And so, he said, what else is it that you want the people to know? He said that I am on the streets because he said he got sick. He said that he got sick, right? And he said when he got sick, he was already living in subsidized housing. This professor was living in subsidized housing, and he got sick and got evicted out of his home. And he said that one of his sicknesses was coming from the things that he was eating, and he had to put everything down, right? And, you know, he had other sicknesses and things like that, you know, probably doing drugs or something like that. He wasn't on them at that time that he was speaking. I don't even know if he actually did it, so I'm not going to put that on him. But he said, I know he said at this time, I'm not doing any type of drugs or anything. That's what he said. But anyways, he also said that he do not have housing. Or not housing. He could not find a job because what it was that he knew about the healthcare field. Some of you guys cannot find jobs. Some of you guys are not getting views. Some of you guys are not being heard and or seen because they want to break you. But see, we are in a time where the breaking of people is irrelevant. And the reason why the breaking of the people is irrelevant is because we're already here. We're already in fourth quarter. And they got to, these shutdowns and all this stuff, they have to amp up the fire. They have to amp it up. And to be able to amp that up, we got to take this and take that. Why is it that they wasn't doing this then and then and then and then? Why is they doing it now? Ask yourself, why are they doing it now? Out of all the times that they could have did it, why are they doing it now when the people are able to speak and see and the cloak and the veil is being lifted, right? And one thing, I was talking to another person in my family, and I said to them, I said, you know what? I said, sometimes. He said, I'm not going to go say anything and da-da-da-da-da. And I said, why is that? And he was honest. He was, we laughed about it, but it was serious. And he said, you know what? He said, these N-words don't want to listen. They jealous. Or they get that jealous heart in them because you know what you know. He said, you're trying to uplift somebody and they out here throwing darts at you behind the scenes. So not only is it that you got to deal with the higher ups, you have to deal with these fools. You have to deal with the ignorancy. She got this and she know that and he know that and I don't know that. And I, all those type of things. He said, and then when you're truly of God, they block you from getting out there anyways. Why is it that the fools can go sit up on the front line and get away with saying all these things and nothing happened? How is it that it seems like this person knows all these things, but yet and still they got all these views and they look like and da 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 da? Anybody who's got all these views and got all these AI programmed into their stuff to get paid and got these things, right? They are being propped up in the front. I don't care how much they talk about the Holy Spirit and God and Jesus. I don't care. I don't care how much they seem to be tapped in. I don't care what they talking about. Be distracted on your ex. Be distracted on what they was doing and what they getting away with. Be distracted on how they doing this and getting locked up. Be distracted on not look forward and keep moving. Not look forward and find out what you're going to do today. Not stay in your present moment and see what you can do right now. Not none of that. Just keep looking in the past. Keep looking. I don't care who it is that you're clicking on. It's past things. It's a handful of people that are actually telling you to stay in your present and to look forward. Not in those exact words, but with the advice that they're giving. And those people are under constant attack, believe you me. But anybody that I see that is, and what they're doing also is that they're trying to hide God's true people and they're taking their creativity. They're taking the downloads that God is giving them, right? And I said to this person, I said, yeah, they stealing our downloads. They doing this. He said, this is exactly why I'm not getting on. No. We are in the time where you better pick a side. We don't have long. And I know you heard it time and time again. And I know that Granny said back in the days. And I know that they keep saying, yelling and talking about look this way. God said that no man should know the day, time, and or hour. No man. No man. So how is it that somebody getting on here causing a freak out crash? It's the revelation. It's the da-da-da-da-da. It's the da-da-da-da. All I can say is do what you can today and make a better day than what you did yesterday. Be a better person than who you was yesterday. That's all. That's it. That's all. Help somebody to help somebody if you can. If you see that person $1 short, give them the $1 if you got it. Don't stand there and tell nobody do it for me with your bitter self. I had to get it out the mud because nobody do it for me. But why are you that bitter? A lot of these type of people have good advice and all these things, but they are not implementing what they're talking about. But they want you to implement it. You understand me? Be very careful who advice you're taking in today's field of on this internet. On these platforms. You understand me? It was something else that I was going to say. God, what was it? Now we got the doom, 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 doom. I talked to them about the internet, right? And the platforms. And I said, I feel like the people are talking too much. And he said, that's exactly what I'm saying, right? We were just talking back and forth. I said, I don't believe that these here platforms and these here internets came out for just no reason. All this stuff is created in this time. I said they want to see who know what and who's connected to what, who got what and who know what, right? They wanted to see the time, the hour, and the day that the people was going to awake from their slumber. And I said, and the people are going out there teaching everything that they know on these here internets. Some things are not meant for this here internet. You understand me? You understand me? I said back in the days, they would go and rent out or they owned big church, not even a big church, but like a warehouse, and they would meet up and link up in these warehouses and stuff like that. They would have their speeches and talk to whoever, was always a plant inside of there, like Malcolm X and all these different people when they had these things going, right? And they did, even if the internet was or wasn't, right, around then, you have to be careful what you're putting out here, but it's too late damn near because people around have been implanted into your life as well to keep you distracted from what God is trying to have you to do. Look at me, 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 look over here, don't look over there. The people around you are mad because they don't get the downloads that you get. They're not connected like you are, but they're not connected because they're too busy to focus on your plan. They're not looking at God trying to get them to grow and glow. All they want to know is how you can put that together like that there. How you can put that together like that there. How can you speak like that? How can you walk like that? How can you talk like that? How can you mix that with that and make that? I did that same mixture and it ain't working. You understand? So you have to, God's people, you have to kind of be by yourself. And it's really not sad because the thing about it is, and it's not lonely because God has showed you so much of the people around you, so much so that it should be a breath of fresh air to get away from them all. Family, friends, ex-lovers, kids, whoever you want to call. Who you going to call? Ghostbusters. You understand me? You should have a relationship with God so much so to the point where loneliness really doesn't exist. You know, it get lonely at times, but I'm talking about as far as like where you're craving to go back to your past. No. These people have showed you who they are. And God dropped off the illusion over your eyes. Because let me tell you something. One thing about it, my uncle told me years ago, people don't change. They just put up who they are. They just put up who they are. And the thing about it is, these people have always been themselves. These people have always showed you who they are. But these people were doing certain things to cloak your eyes so they can act a fool in front of you. You know, my grandmother was blind. And so we would go just to see if she can see us. She'd be like, what you over there doing? What you over there doing? Because her other senses was heightened. So when we went, she heard that. She heard the flicking of the tongue. She like, what you over there doing? 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 Some of these people have cloaked themselves and did all this stuff so where they was actually acting a fool and showing you who they was the whole time, but they cloaked themselves. Look at me, boo, boo, boo. You know, I had a dream. And in this dream, it was a family member in this dream, right? And I'm like, what is you doing here, right? They thought that they was cloaked. And so I seen that they had this demon looking thing standing in front of them in my dream, right? And I'm like, what is this thing in my face? And it was all in my face doing this and right, playing all these games. And I said, what is you doing? And something happened where God told them, scoot over. And I seen when this thing scooted over, it never said anything. It just kept going in my face and trying to scare me and cause problems. And I'm a dungeon dragon. I'm a dungeon dragon. Right? This thing was all in my face and it was slime. This person was doing all these things, acting like I don't know how to say it, so I say Trenvilicus. The mimic clowns where they stand on the side of each other and they be both doing all this movement. This person was standing in the back of this thing and something happened where this thing had finally stopped and scooted over so I can see the person that was operating this thing. And so I said, oh, dang. And this person all doing this, right? And all like this. And they didn't know that the thing had moved out the way so I can see them. It was time. You know, this person had been operating a lot of things in the background to go wrong. This person had been doing a lot of slimy, grimy things. And what's crazy is it was like black. It looked like a demon. It was black and it like the blackness on it was like sliding, like goop. But it was still in place. You know what I'm saying? It looked deformed. And so I'm like, what the heck is you doing? Get out of my face. Get out of my face, right? I said, who was this? Who was this? Who was that? Who doing this? Because I knew that thing was being operated. I don't know how I knew, but I knew. And so that thing finally scooted over. And I seen this person I'm looking at the person doing all this stuff, right? This was the thing. This was the person that was running this demon that was chasing after me in the back. And so I said, oh, yeah. When that person, I got to see that thing went back. And when it went back, it said the person was panicking. Oh, did she see me? Did she see me? Did she see me? That thing was like, They're like, what happened? Why did they see me? Because the big guy told me to move. It was time for her to see you. So a lot of you guys, these people have been clowning in your face and you still up in their place and you like, dang, when you got out of there and you finally let go, you like, God, why was I even allowing that? God, what the hell? It don't make sense, huh? Why would you allow something like that, huh? It don't make sense, huh? Because these people were doing things to make you stand there while they clowned, and they was hiding behind that cloak and that veil while they was clowning. They was hiding behind all these things while they were clowning in your face. And God said, ooh, drop they mask and put on my eyes on that person. I need you to see this, son. I need you to see this, daughter. I need you to see this. It's time for you to see now. You have became one with me, Simba. Remember, Simba. And so when you go into unity with God, it's something that happens. Something happens where these people can no longer clown up in your face. These people can They can't do that and get away with it. That's all I'm saying. These people are in fear because once God moved that thing over, and you got to understand that there's laws to the land. You understand? The demon ain't in trouble and going to purgatory because it has to. It's allowed to do so much. You understand? These people were using these entities and these things to do all. Once you get into alignment with God and God tell that thing to scoot over so she can see, so he can see. Now that person sitting up there looking stupid and that thing have obeyed God, it can no longer be used. And when that person is steady trying to summons it and do what they doing off in the dark and they steady doing all these things, you understand me? God, y'all, hold on, because I was about to go somewhere else. It's time, right? And that person still summons in it. Come on, do this. That thing like, hell no. God said, I cannot do that. No. You got to go in there by yourself. You got to be seen by how you be seen. You got to be seen how you be seen. I can't do that. The big guy said, no more. These people are about to go down screaming, hollering, and begging. They are going to purgatory. They are going to jail from doing what it is that they've been doing all this time. You understand me? Hiding behind the back of things. Just like the people was doing in your face. Hiding behind their cloak and their veil. Some of these people have always been that way. And some of these people became that way because of the person didn't like you. And they seen you, they got a tinge of jealousy and envy. And that seed grew within them. And so they linked together off the back of you. And became one. And they both started operating that thing against you. Yeah. Y'all, let me tell y'all. Last night, I went to sleep and I had a dream. Used to read Word Up magazines. Salt and Pepper, right? It wasn't necessarily a dream. I heard very loud. And I heard a person calling out for this person's name. And they said their name 3 times. And they said, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. They didn't say it just 3 times. But when they called their name, it was in 3s. So just say their name was Baba Yaga. They would say, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. That's enough. Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. That's enough. Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga, that's enough. This is what I heard in my sleep. That's it, that's enough. That's enough, right? And so I noticed that when this person was screaming this person's name, and it was a person that I don't even know, that I'm not even connected to. It's a person way back over there that is connected to this person through that person and that person. And so I got up from them saying their child's name, and I got up and I went in there, right? Because it was 2 different, I know 2 people names at this name. I'd heard this name twice, 2 different times for 2 different people, right? And so I heard the name, and I said, first I thought it was this person, and something said, no, it's not that person. Go and ask such and such, who is this name? And so I got up, and at first I sat there on it for a while, like, that's going to be crazy. I'm not going to ask that because that person don't know that person, right? And so I went up, cracked the door open, and I said, hey, who is such and such? The person said, how do you know that name? I said, yeah, who is this person? You know them? This person said, yeah, that is my such and such friend's mother. Oh. The name that you were saying is their child. Ooh, God will let you in on it. God will let you know who you're facing and you're battling. I keep telling people that when, and I'm going to say this, y'all. I'm getting off of here because I don't want to make this longer drawn out. A lot of my videos is long enough. When it is time for judgment, and when you call for judgment, and you have to go into prophetic action, right? It's certain things that you have to do to go into these places, right? In these spaces, and to call down judgment. See, a lot of people just say, oh, go call down judgment. Go call down judgment. Your words is enough. Sometimes your words are not just enough. And a lot of these people are doing things in the background with the intention when you spiraling out of control. These people put certain people up into the forefront of your dubla amagata. So you can think it's them, they, them, them. And you would never think. That is somebody that's connected to somebody that's connected to somebody that's connected to somebody. That you don't even know. You've never seen their face, but they seen yours somehow, some way. And so I just need you to know that when it gets that way, right, when God started allowing you to see and hear these people, their demons is being brought in for the demons that are utilizing them, are they're utilizing, is being brought to judgment. I need you to hear me when I say. A lot of people are going up under judgment for the things that they have been doing to some of us, and they are terrified. You got some of these people who think that they're going to come around you and test the theory of, because like that song said, if you say who you say you are, a superstar, have no fear. Y'all, that tripped me out that I was singing that song coming up the stairs. Them words there. These people are out here trying to test you on a whole nother level. And some of them had time to test you as well. And God said that is enough. That is enough. And these people have grown obsessed. These people have grown crazy. These people, demons in them are slobbering. These people don't want to stop. And so God, this is a person that is around the way in this area, right? Who you think you is? Who you think it is. You don't even know them. They're a neighbor. They're a person of a person of a person of a person. And they're going to toss that over in the yard. They're going to hex these things and do these things and pull out energy weapons and do all these things to you because, you know, if you say who you say you are, a superstar, have no fear. Y'all, look, I'm almost made it into a beat. Because now that it's stuck, I got to go write that's going down in the books. I got to put that in my books. I got to put that in the books. Some of these people are out here testing some of you guys. Like I said, that headache, that dizziness, that this, that this. You're going to go do this and do that. And you're trying to go apply for this and apply for that. And you're being debunked in every way possible. And you're being blocked left. And they're trying to corner you. And you're saying, what's going on, Lord? Follow the yellow brick road, son. You have nothing to worry about. The suffering is almost over. You know, they always say it got to get bad before it get good. Everybody is giving these messages like all these things are going good and these things are coming and the blessing is here and all these things, depending on the part of the journey that you are. So be careful what you're taking in. Some of you guys are in the midst of your journey and you're just now getting started. And some of you guys are in the middle and some of you guys are towards the end. So be careful what you're taking in. When they say, it's coming. It's there. They did. Especially when you're listening to people keeping you in the past. Anytime somebody's keep bringing up the past people and the past people and the past people, they're no good. Because we need you to stay in the here now. Because God is trying to give you something. God is trying to download something into you. And God wants you to see something. You understand? And so, you guys have a blessed one. Ooh, this feels good to have this short of a video. Ooh, thank you, Jesus. Don't worry, friend. They're out here trying to test you because if you are who you say you are, a superstar, you're connected to who? Have no fear. And you shouldn't either. Somebody's going to be in shock to know that I know. Yeah. Y'all have a blessed one. And I'll be back only if it's God's will. Okay?